to the Laredo Independent School District Board of Trustees regular board meeting. Today is Thursday, January the 19th. It is 5:32. We're at the Yeary boardroom. Can we call to order?
Yes. Mr. Juan Ramirez?
Present.
Mr. Guadalupe Gomez is not here. Mrs. Veronica Orduño?
Present.
Mr. Ricardo Garza is here. Mr. Goyo Lopez?
Here.
Dr. Gilberto Martinez?
Present.
Mrs. Monica Garcia?
I am present.
Are we gonna?
Ms. Veronica?
Good evening, board members and Dr. Rios and members of the audience. At this time, we ask that you please rise for the United States National Anthem to be performed by two truly outstanding band students who have earned the title of 2023 Texas Music Educators Association All-State Band Members. This evening, we are pleased to introduce Nestor Holguin, who attends Martin High School and the Trevino Magnet School. Nestor earned first chair on the alto saxophone competing in 6A and is now a two-time All-State musician. And joining Nestor is Carlos Carrion Gonzalez, who attends Nixon High School and the Trevino Magnet School. Carlos earned fourth chair in the B-flat clarinet competing in the 5A level. Ladies and gentlemen, All-State band members, Nestor Holguin and Carlos Carrion Gonzalez. Thank you, Nestor Holguin and Carlos Carrion Gonzalez, along with their teachers and sponsors who are here tonight. That's Mr. Bobby Castro, Mr. Juan Gerardo Sosa, Ms. Melissa Hinojosa, Mr. Joseph Trevino, and along with our fine art directors, Mr. Guillermo Pro and Mr. Fred Rodriguez. So we thank you all so much and congratulations. These two students will be getting recognized during the February board meeting. And now I ask that you please remain standing for the United States Pledge of Allegiance, which is being presented this evening in a video produced by the Instructional Television Department under the direction of Mr. Julio Ovando. The video features students from throughout the district.
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Madam President, may I continue with special observances?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Under special observances, Yolanda Mata Rios passed away on December the 19th. She began working for LISD as an educator at Lamar Middle School. She was promoted to special ed diagnostician at McDonald Elementary and retired as a special education supervisor in 2002 with 27 years of service to the district. Frank Maurice Staggs Sr. passed away December 20th. He started his career as a speech and history teacher at Lamar Junior High School in 1956. Then he was the first principal of Milton Elementary, and then he was appointed principal at Lamar, a position he held until 1972. Mr. Staggs later served the district as Director of Secondary Education until he retired in 1980. And then in 1998, he was elected to the LISD Board of Trustees, where he served until 2002. Mirta Uribe passed away on December 24th. She worked at Martin High School and the Dr. Dennis D. Cantu Health Science Magnet School as a health science teacher. She retired in 1980 with 15 years of service to the district. Gloria Estela Cruz Best passed away on December 27th. She was a teacher at Milton Elementary for 15 years until she retired in 1980. Carlos Luna died on January the 8th. He was an award-winning band director at Nixon who directed the Mustang Band for nearly 30 years. Under his baton, the Nixon Band won an unprecedented 28 consecutive UIL sweepstakes awards. Later, he was promoted to Fine Arts Coordinator, a position he held until he retired in 2016 with 35 years of service. And finally, Samuel R. Pais passed away Sunday, January the 1st. He was hired at LISD as a substitute, where he worked at different campuses until he retired in 2009. May we please have a moment of silence in memory of Mrs. Rios, Mr. Staggs, Mrs. Uribe, Mrs. Best, Mr. Luna, and Mr. Pais. Thank you. May I continue with board recognitions?
Yes, please.
The 2022-2023 school year has really been a banner year for our school district. Our district received 2 A's from the Texas Education Agency, one for exemplary academics and one for exemplary financial management. And we're the only school district in Webb County to have earned both A's along with 95 distinctions for academic achievements. Much of this success is due to the vision and commitment of our Board of Trustees, who volunteer their time to provide leadership and diligent governance for the benefit of our 21,000 students and 4,100 employees. Our trustees are critical to the success of our children and the future of our community. They dedicate countless hours of their time to serve and advocate for the educational needs of all of our students. Therefore, LISD joins hundreds of school districts across the state of Texas in celebrating School Board Recognition Month and thanking our trustees from the bottom of our hearts. So now here's the world premiere of a School Board Recognition Month video produced by ITV under the direction of Mr. Julio Obando. Do we turn over the lights? Light? Okay.
Ms. Garcia, the students of South Laredo appreciate the way that you proudly represent us as the president of the LISD School Board of Trustees. During this School Board Recognition Month, we would like to say thank you for everything that you do for us. our school board since we were in first grade. You have had a positive influence on not only me, but also thousands of other students for their entire lifetime at Laredo ISD.
Your experience is a great asset for everyone in our school district.
Mr. Gomez, thank you for your service these past few years. All of the students and employees of District 2 wish you nothing but the best.
Mr. Ramirez, it takes a humble, graceful, and smart person to fill the shoes of board member for District 1. We thank you for choosing to take on this great responsibility.
Ms. Ortuño, you have dedicated your entire career ensuring that your students receive the proper education and assistance that they deserve. For that, we thank you. Mr. Lopez, good. The students of District 5 are thrilled to welcome you to our school board of trustees. We are glad that you will now be part of our LISD family.
Dr. Martinez, thank you for joining our school board. As middle school students, we are always growing and searching for our place in this world. With your guidance, together with the rest of the school board, I feel confident we are headed in the right direction forward, together.
Greetings, Laredo ISD Board of Trustees, on this very special occasion. And on behalf of our Laredo ISD family of educators and support staff, I would like to express our deepest gratitude and heartfelt thanks for all that you do on behalf of our children and our schools and our district. Over the last several years, Laredo ISD has grown so much, academically, extracurricular activities, and innovation. We are proud to stand here as representatives of the vision and the support that we continuously give to all of our students, to our staff, and to us who are part of the leadership. Thank you for being who you are and for supporting all of our initiatives throughout all of these years. We are proud to keep on moving forward together. We will accomplish great things with your vision, your leadership, and your continuous support. Thank you for being part of our Laredo ISD family of educators, support staff, and our community.
On behalf of the entire district, we thank our trustees for leading with heart, inspiring change, supporting growth, and driving results. Thank you for all you do for our school district and community. God bless all of you. And that concludes tonight's board recognitions.
Thank you, Ms. Veronica. Now we have public forum.
Yes, we have several names here. As you all know, there are rules to abide by. It's a 3-minute, the rules are 3 minutes for you to speak. The first speaker will be Mr. Jaime Gonzalez.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to speak here. I got a special things that have been bothering me for many years, and one of the most important one is the Special Olympic athletes. They are not being given the opportunity to use the facilities that the taxpayers pay hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they cannot come and practice. They're pretty soon having their track and field Special Olympics, and no practice. They don't even know what a lane is. They don't know what a starting line is. They don't know the sound of a gun or a bang, because they always go. And every time we turn around and ask for practices, there's no money. They probably won't be allowed to go to the Special Olympic track and field that's usually holds at the SAC, because there's no money. If there's money, only for transportation, we can feed you. But yet, regular athletes, no matter where they go, they can get fed. Elementary to middle school, if they're gonna be there a certain amount of time, they're getting fed. They're gonna get Whataburger at least, and not our kids. I don't know why that happened. It's been going on. I was here for many years, and it's always been going on. And it's not right. It's a lot of discrimination going on between regulars and special ed children. And I feel that they had a bowling tournament. They don't know the difference between they practice with a rubber ball, bowling ball, and they go to the Special Olympic tournament, and they use a 7-pound bowling ball. Some of them use a 15-pound bowling ball, not knowing the difference. Why? They don't get practice. We have a great facility as track. We had state champions in track. I mean, they got there because they practice hard. And we can do the same thing for our kids. They need to go during the school time or whatever time is allowed to go and practice at least twice a month. You know, and there's no money for transportation. That's all administration says, no money. Now, go to your principal, maybe your principal has money. I don't think they got funded for that. So there's no money. The straight answer, they can't go. They can't go practice. Just take them to the meet and don't represent the school district the way they should represent. And that's not right. So hopefully something gets done, and God willing, it will. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next person on the list is Mr. Glenn Jackson. Were you on the list?
Actually, I was going to defer until later on in the meeting, but actually, I really would like to compliment what I've just seen. You know, I was in Ryan School in 1954, before y'all were born, and all we had was finger painting. We didn't have this kind of education with technology and graphics and everything. I really applaud you. The next thing I'd like to say is that we'd like to compliment the Perez Mora team that runs your risk management division. It's been a pleasure working with you guys. We've been representing you for many, many years, and you've come a very long way. And we'd like to go on the record to tell you that because of these guys and their due diligence and everything they're doing for this school district, you wouldn't have 1 penny more to pay in premiums than you did last year if it wasn't for your properties, buying new buildings, new buses, new students, all that kind of stuff, because these guys are in control. So all that's increasing your rate and your premiums is because of what you've added. They've done an excellent job with their losses. And so we thank you for letting us represent you, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Next person, Mr. Mario Mireles.
Good evening, board members, board president, Dr. Rios, and member of the audience. First of all, thank you very much for what you do for our community. Watching those videos, it's just really inspiring the great things that are happening here at LISD. So I want to thank you foremost for doing that. And my message comes more in the form of an invitation. I know that our students do a lot of great things, but I know something we implemented this year as a school district is our cadet ceremony. And I know our JROTC students are going to be celebrated. They're being celebrated throughout the year, and tomorrow, January the 20th, we have our celebration. We're going to be hosting it there at Martin High School, and it's from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. If you're able to make it, just see the students seeing you around there will be something great that they can enjoy their celebrations. They've been working real hard in their academics, and to see what other things they've done in their programs, they're just excelling in a lot of things. And I know we just had one of our first ever Raider events at Martin High School, and we continue to build on that and see what else we can do for our students. And just wanted to extend that invitation and formally see if you guys can make it out there, and we'll be ready there and celebrating our students. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mireles. Keep up the good work. Next person is Mr. Valentin Ruiz.
Okay, I'm ready. Good afternoon, Valentin Ruiz. Thank you, board members. Teachers are making less this year than years before in LISD. And in August of 2022, TEA met with our superintendent, and they were going to be looking into it as to why. And to date, we have not heard anything. Like, what is the problem? Why are some teachers all of a sudden not getting more pay? Just all of a sudden, some years they get less. Teacher salaries fluctuate up and down, yet HR and superintendent jobs always go up. That is not fair. 5 years teachers make less than new teachers. Why? Why do new teachers make more than teachers that have been in there for 5 years in the trenches? That is not right. The district always adds responsibilities to teachers and staff, yet they still have not received a cost of living increase. Raises should always be across the board. We are all team players. They shouldn't come from the top to the bottom. The TIA, the Teachers Incentive Allotment, does not compensate all team players in middle schools. This has led to friction and division among teachers, low morale. It was presented to everyone that they all would get a share. Everyone has a role to play. But the teachers were conned into putting up all this extra work, and then all of a sudden, ¿sabes qué? You don't qualify, or you don't meet the criteria. But yet they were there helping the teams. This incentive is a con game, and I suggest that every time you put something out like that, put it in writing. Because from experience that I've had with the JROTC program, that you tell us one thing and then you say another and mean another and mean another, y espérate, and we're working on it, doesn't cut it. Así trataron a los negros, waiting for their rights. Espérense. Wait. Y se tardaron años to have rights, even the Native Americans and Hispanics. The other thing I want to say is that I just noticed that you guys had an agenda item and we were not invited, the coalition. And it said there specifically that only Nixon was going to go to the Raider competition at Copa. Why? Is this another form of retaliation against Martin High School JROTC?
That's time. I'm going to give you a minute to finish your thought, though. Go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate that, sir. So, All we're asking for is equity and equality and a seat on the table. Nada les cuesta que nos avisen, Mr. Ruiz, or anybody in the coalition, please come, we're gonna have a meeting, we're gonna discuss this. So we can have transparency. That's all we want. And to place input. You know, if you want us to keep on coming here and we're getting new members every day, we will. We won't stop. You guys want more times, you new board members? Así me estaba jugando el dedo en la boca Mr. Lupillo Gómez por 2 años. Y nunca se puso nada in the campus improvement plan, which is the first step. It's the first step. And I'm still waiting on my grievances, porque son 10 days, and uno de ellos ya está corriendo for more than a year and a half. And I want to go to TEA.
Okay.
The process is set up for failure, and parents are giving up because they seem to understand that you all don't care. Show us that you care. Thank you.
At your time. Hey, do you want to, you're here again. You have your name twice.
Yes, sir. And the other one, there is no time limit.
On this one?
And this one, there was a 3-minute time limit.
Right. Well, I'll give you an extension on this. I have to defer to the attorney so that what do you mean that there's no time limit on your second name?
It's an agenda item. There's no time limit on the agenda item.
Line item number 3?
Yes, sir. Where Cigarroa and Nixon are gonna get money, JROTC, but Martin is not mentioned. Another form of retaliation.
Let us look into this and we'll find out. If that's the case and Mr. Perez advises that we can do it, we'll do it.
If you don't let me, that's another infringement on my First Amendment right of free speech.
Well, we're just following policy, and rules that we have here. So if it isn't, and if it is, more than glad to get you up here again.
Mr. Garza, it is one speaker, one time per meeting.
All right. Very good. Next person is Kayla Escobar.
Good afternoon, board members. My name is Kayla Escobar, and I'm a veteran. I am part of the Black Widow veteran group, female veterans group. I have witnessed via Facebook the struggle of Martin High School, JROTC for equity and equality, and honestly, it's sad. Because it's not only in the LISD, but it's also affecting the UISD, JROTC members, like my son, my 16-year-old son, that they don't have they only have their dress blues and no ACUs because they have no money. Why? Why is there no money? I am the first one, the first mother to come in here, but I will speak up. I will raise my voice to the rest of the mothers in the JROTC for LBJ. It is not fair that you're getting money for Nixon and Cigarroa, only as described in item number 3. BA number 2223-33, $142,000 to purchase for technology. When are you going to stop retaliating against Martin High School JROTC and UISD JROTC? Because our future is suffering. Our future is suffering. I say it again. I say it again. Our future is suffering. It's time to get serious and stop spending and stop hogging money from our kids. We are only fighting. I am only fighting for what my son needs. And if I am not heard, I will go and I will get more members. Thank you. Abimael.
Okay. I am Abimael Sanchez. I'm a cadet from UISD JROTC. I'm a member of the JROTC Coalition. I have witnessed the injustice LISD cadets have faced with retaliation. Our program in UISD was in danger of being shut down last year because of lack of students and cadets, lack of training facilities, lack of restrooms, showers, and lockers. MHS cadets are divided, fighting each other. They are not united. Stop your retaliation actions against MHS raiders. Please support JROTC program. It's one of the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Next item.
We are going to defer item G and H to the end of the meeting. We'll go ahead and start off with item number 1. Dr. Rios?
So, these are items on consent agenda. We would welcome a motion for consent agenda items.
Motion to approve item number 1.
So moved.
It's been moved. Anybody second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay. Item number 2. So, is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve item number 2, approve of board meetings.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And any against? Item number 3, motion to, is there a motion to approve 3A, 3B, 3C?
Madam President,
Madam,
Oh, we need,
Item
I'm sorry, I
3B.
need to bring out,
I'm sorry, item 3A.
item 3A, there needs to be an amendment for the amount of, it went from 25,000 with $2, it's going up to 63,000 with $2. If
Yes,
you'd
ma'am.
like to explain, Ms. Ayala?
Yes, we are reclassifying or requesting approval to reclassify some funding that was incorrectly coded to function 51, but it needs to be coded to function 81. It is not additional funding, it's just a matter of putting it in the correct code.
Is there a motion to approve?
May I, can you elaborate function or code 51
Yes.
and 81?
So the difference between function 51 and 81, for function 51, we code all maintenance costs, and all improvements and land acquisitions, they're coded to function 81. So what we're requesting is the reclassification of some Yeary proceeds that were allocated to improving the floor of Bruni, if I'm not mistaken. And so in order to proceed with the purchase order and purchasing of the equipment and the services, it needs to be in the proper code. So that's what we're requesting, to correct that.
Motion to approve 3A, 3B, 3C, and 3A with amendment?
I move.
Madam President, I have a question on 3B.
Can we have a second and we can
Call
get
for-
discussion?
Yeah, it's a first and a second, and then we go into questions. So, is there a second on that?
I second.
Okay, I'll go ahead.
Any discussion?
There it is.
Mr. Ramirez?
Yes, I have actually a discussion. I would like to, on item 3B, no, sorry, 3C, I would like to make a motion to table that item.
May I provide some information on that
Yes,
item?
please.
Do I
Yes,
have
please.
permission?
Please.
So For bond, every time we use bond proceeds, and in here you see Fund 692, that's where we allocated the 2018 bond proceeds. So right now, we have projects that are ongoing from those proceeds, and right now, the bond proceeds, we use it for brick and mortar. Every time the projects need fixtures or other items that have a life of 5 years or less, we use interest earnings. However, we have to wait until we earn the interest earnings in order for us to expend those funds. And that's why we are requesting right now to make that allocations of interest earnings we have earned for those qualified projects approved already by the board.
Okay, so for point of order, there has already been a motion for first and a second. We would have to vote, and then after that, we can continue. So all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against?
Aye.
Aye.
Ms. Orduño, you had motion second.
We still need it from, you need to go down the list.
Mr. Gil Martinez, are you in approval of the item?
I approve, yes.
Mr. Goyo Lopez?
I approve.
Ms. Orduño, you had a motion second. Mr. Ramirez?
I vote nay.
Mr. Eric Garza?
Vote yea.
Aye. Myself? Motion passes. So can we please make sure we make note? Thank you. Motion to, is there a motion to approve 4A, 4B, 4C, 4D, 4E, 4F, 4G, 4H, 4I, 4J, 4K, 4L, 4M?
I have a problem with 4K.
Can we bring out 4K and we can motion to approve the rest?
I second that motion.
It's been motion first and second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Now we go to 4K. Ms. Orduño?
When we first saw this last week, I had a concern with the 694,000 or whatever it was.
The actual cost.
The actual cost, and now the 900,000. It had been proposed that it was going to be worded differently, and it isn't.
The proposal was not given to me as a directive, and so it was at the will of the board to keep it the same.
Well, you had told me, somebody told me that it was going to.
Yes, I did say if it was the will of the board, right? If the board wishes to make that, to put us at a ceiling, it was okay, but there was no directive for me to make that change in full approval of the board as a whole.
I don't recall you mentioning that we had to give you a directive. I know that you said it's going to be worded differently, and that's it.
If you all want, right? If, as the board, you wanted to do that, we can, but the board has to approve as a whole and then given to me as a directive to make that change on the agenda.
So can I do that now?
I would have to call for the motion. And a motion for approve.
I have a question for Ms. Ayala, Madam
We
President.
can go into more discussion after there's a motion and a second, and we continue to discuss.
I move.
Any second?
Yes, I second the motion.
Discussion? Mr. Ramirez?
Yes, Madam President. Ms. Ayala, in reference to this item, I know I had questioned it before as to the 900,000. So that's the cap in order, we cannot go beyond 900,000, correct?
Not if the board,
So
right, if the board
what is
approves.
recommended to purchase those 5 buses, it's an estimated amount approximately like about 650,000.
Because that is the amount of budget
the
that is
buses.
available, yes.
Okay. But if it could have been more, we would have to find that funding source to
Yes, sir.
allocate the necessary funds.
Yes, sir.
So
Well, it
My
depends. It depends, because if there's some money available somewhere else, we bring that item back to the board for approval, then it's up to you whether you want to approve it or not. And we don't have to come back for you to approve the vendor, because you already approved it up to 900,000.
So my point I'm trying to make is this, so I believe it was my understanding that each bus costs approximately about $149,000. More or less.
Yes.
So the difference between what is the price of those 5 buses, give or take 250,000, to add up to make the 900,000. So my point is, if my understanding was those buses are available already to go purchase. So if we have that gap, can we purchase an additional bus or put in order for another bus that is gonna take some time to be completed? And that way that gives us time to find that funding source to make the difference. And that way we don't waste the time, because if we gonna come back and ask for a bus, the price can go up.
So our procurement process does not allow us to do that. In order for us to proceed with an order, the funding has to be available. So right now, if the funding, and this is to protect you as well, as a board, if the funding is not available, we cannot move forward with a purchase. And the way to do that is by issuing a purchase order. So if someone wants to place an order for that additional bus because you have the capacity, the purchase order in our system has a control, it will not move it forward because the funding has not been identified.
Thank you, Ms.
Even
Ayala.
though the
do
approval for the
wanna-
capacity is there.
I do want to make a note, though, that cap, 900, that's what was budgeted. However, if there is funding to find, if it's identified, then what will happen is that additional bus will be purchased. If you remember, we talked about a survey that was made by the Transportation Department as to how many more routes were going to be needed for Cigarroa Middle. And there was an estimated amount of buses that were going to be needed, which were 10. At that point in time, it was decided that the funding available was only for 5. When they started to see, I'm talking about operations, started to see how much money was there available under that cap, that 600, I believe it was 656,000 was identified for those 5 buses which are available right now. However, that cap is up to 900. And if other funding is identified, then we can get an additional bus or parts or, because remember, our goal is 10. And we have to be able to get 10 between now and a year and a half.
Okay, it's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any against?
Nay.
Motion passes. Motion to approve 5 and number 6.
I move that we approve number 5 and number 6.
I second that.
5 by itself.
Oh, 5 by itself. I move that we approve 5. And then we'll do it again.
I second.
Good job.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any against? Motion passes. Item number 6. Option 6, their motion to get option B. Any motion?
I move to, which
Any
one are we looking-
second?
Second the
I
motion.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Point of order, I have a discussion on the calendar.
Mr. Martinez, Dr. Martinez?
Yes, I just had a quick question. I know the answer by myself, for myself, like it makes sense in my head, but I just want to articulate it. What is the reservation, and you know what, I might even be mistaken, I haven't looked at the actual date, but we are not observing Martin Luther King holiday for this calendar? And my question is, what is the opposition to that, or what is I understand that we have to fit in certain days, and I also I understand that there's a 3-week break now between Christmas and, so it's longer, and working on Martin Luther King Jr. probably it can go unnoticed, but has there ever been a discussion about having that day off? It's a federal holiday. I know some of the school districts observe it, some of them don't. We are one of the ones that do not. And I kind of want to know why that is.
You are correct in noticing that the 3 weeks does affect the number of days off we have the rest of the year. And so since we had just come back from the 3-week break, we didn't observe it, either for teachers or for staff, and
But
that
also,
could be the
this
case
is,
next
this
year
is a
too.
poll that employees take, right?
Yes, and
This is
this was
also
the
a choice
option
for
that was preferred.
Okay.
Let me ask you something. I mean, it's a very interesting point because I had a lot of people, obviously, and every year we have, as you said, you have a 40-member panel that, around the city, that discusses all of this and goes back and forth on this. And there are moments in there where we don't coincide with UISD. For instance, this past Monday, they had MLK, but they were at, I think it was all off, or I think they had
Staff development.
Staff development,
Yes, sir.
right? And I think it'll be a good idea for everybody here that once we get those, if you put this template along with UISD's, and we have differences, let's say, throughout the year of 3 or 4 days, that a little sidebar information over here as to why, and that way, you know, it'll be a good idea only because, believe me, as much as we try to, teachers will call us and say, why them and not us? And it's just, and they know, but they will call us and it'd be good, because I don't have an explanation. I just say, hey, there's some days that we're equal, some days that are not. But if we have that little explanation in there, so sort of, so we don't have to divert them to you all and just have a simple discussion for our information. I agree with Dr. Gill that some of it is just, it's not confusing, it's just the fact that maybe it just lacks that information. Because it's only 2 or 3 days a year, right, that we differentiate.
Generally.
So I do want to make a point. Remember that you are approving a calendar that can be amended, and in other days, in other years, it has been amended.
Sure.
This calendar does go before the District Executive Council, which is a council that has teachers that represent every single school. To Dr. Gill's point, there's been other years, Dr. Gill, where Martin Luther King Day was observed. And again, we can go back and look at it, but if you approve this calendar right now, you are approving it as is. But if there is an opportunity or there's further discussion, then we can bring it back to you. As we discussed in our meetings, this calendar is different than United because United does not have 3 full weeks of Christmas, and they do not have 1 staff development day every month for staff. And that was what the staff chose. I'm not talking about administrators, I'm talking about teachers. And Ms. Orduño, I think you made a point to remember, Ms. Orduño, you talked a little bit about that staff development day in the month, every month. But again, if you approve it as is, and if there's further discussion, it can come back to you. But it is needed to be able to plan the financial year as well as the staff development year and the days when kids come back as well as staff.
Can I just add one more point on that? It's the fact that it's not necessarily to change it, but again, the little sidebars, you know, to explain what it is, it helps, number one. And I think the question is going to come up this week or next week or 2 weeks. Are we having Monday off after Super Bowl like we did one time? And so I don't know if it's not there. I don't know. I mean, I'm asking you.
It's not there anymore?
It's not there anymore? All right. So then that's fine. And so because we don't have it, you know, I'm just saying, because people do call and say, how come we're not having Super Bowl this year? But you already gave it to them once, and this is what happens. People get used to it, and, you know, so forth and down the line.
Under discussion, I just want to add, I agree with Dr. Gill's idea, and my personal point is that that's a federal holiday. The other federal government agencies are closed, the city, the county. So majority of our parents, majority of our husbands or wives of employees for LIZ are off at the same time. So I see it as an extra day for the family can enjoy a day together, including the children, everybody as a family. And after the hard work that every single employee in our district does day in and day out, I think that's something that, you know, should reward everybody, our students, our employees of our district, and our community. And it's one day. I understand we have to work so many days. We have to have so many days of instruction. So we can move an earlier date to start school off. You know, that'll justify that extra day off. So I know as a point of order, I believe, you know, it's up for approval. We can approve it, or we can, see what happens, and then we can make a recommendation as well, I believe. Am I correct?
Yes, correct, sir. So it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against? Motion passes. Regular agenda, Dr. Rios? Motion, I motion to bring up item number 10.
So, I'm
Okay.
sorry, let me read that, may I?
Yes.
Item number 10, discussion and possible action to authorize the superintendent to enter into discussions with the city of Laredo regarding potential future collaborations. And we're very honored to have Dr. Trevino here, Mayor of Laredo.
We need to bring up the item.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, now that the agenda item is here by protocols and procedures
We
here.
need to bring up the item.
I did.
I make a
We need
motion to bring up
to
item
bring it
number
up.
10.
Okay, he moved, I second. Go ahead.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any against? Okay, Mr. Garza?
Okay, I move that we authorize the superintendent to engage in discussions with personnel from the city of Laredo about potential collaboration between the city and the district, and update the board about such discussions.
There's a motion, a second.
Seconded.
Second for discussion. I know we do have mayor, the city, newly elected mayor of the city of Laredo that wishes to speak on this item. You would like, please come on the podium.
All those in favor?
Welcome,
All those
Mayor.
in favor, please say aye.
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 Welcome, thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam President, Board of Trustees, Superintendent, staff, and the community at large. Dr. Victor Trevino, Mayor for the City of Laredo. Soy el alcalde de Laredo, del pueblo. Now, before I begin, I want to share with you a story from my freshman year of high school at Martin High School. And as part of the band, we recorded a song called Laredo that received international recognition. This song was under the direction of Elmo Lopez Sr. and written by Clifton Williams. It is one of the things I remember most from my youth. Shortly after that, the new Nixon High School was built, and some of us had to go to that school, and we were transferred. That's where I graduated. I then became the health authority here in Laredo, and now as mayor of the largest inland import of the United States, with $249 billion of international trade passing through our bridges. And we are just getting started. My message for the students at LISD that everyone can become anything they desire. And that is there is local talent in our community and in our schools. And they can achieve things equal or better than anyone from any other place in the world. Now, the reason for me being here is recognizing Laredo Independent Schools District and their employees for the collaboration and assistance to the community during the COVID-19 global pandemic, but it is about the invitation to continue to collaborate with the city to achieve great things. Because of the combined efforts, we went from the city with the most COVID infections in the country to the city with the highest vaccination rate in the country. So I thank you on behalf of the city, but we have the potential for much more. Now, I understand that some of you may be saying, well, the city has a lot going internally and the city is going to forget about us. But I can assure you that you will always have an open line for LISD, and I will push items that will empower and help our local community. So I invite you, Madam President, I know you believe in the same things, and those on this board to work with me and make our community a better place to live. Because we deserve better. Porque unidos somos más fuertes. Les quiero dar gracias por la invitación y la oportunidad de hablar con ustedes hoy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
And I present to you the certificate of recognition. Recognize the Laredo Independent School District and their employees for their collaboration and assistance to the community during COVID-19 global pandemic.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Have a good evening.
No, we already got it. That's right. Maybe we can get it repaired. We can get it done now.
Dr. Rios, number 7.
Almost there. Item number 7, discussion and presentation on the Laredo ISD's instructional continuity plan, including high school STAR end of course, CCMR CTE innovative courses, and the 2023-2024 scholastic calendar. I want to begin by just advising the board that we did receive our preliminary end of course exam scores, and we're very, very proud of all of our high schools. What you're going to see is that our high schools are scoring at a higher point at this point in the year than they were last year. So remember, we talked a little bit about, since it's a new exam in the spring, so there's actually a great point in time where all of our schools are scoring higher than they did last year. You're going to get a full report from our Curriculum and Instruction Committee, and they will be talking about some of the initiatives that they have to prepare for this second part of the year, not only for our high schools, but also for our elementary. So this is great news, and you'll be able to see a lot of the gains that we're very proud of. Our CCMR CTE innovative courses, Laredo ISD continues to move forward with providing opportunities for our kids to be successful in different career pathways. So if you look at the 2 courses that Mr. Roger Garcia brought forth, they are the emergency medical technician, which is a courseway that will work on throughout the entire year, and we have our practicum in entrepreneurship. And one of the good things that's happening is that pretty soon we're going to be announcing another mentorship and entrepreneurship set of opportunities for our kids. In fact, we have a meeting tomorrow, and I don't know if, yes, Mr. Rogelio Garcia is here, but we'll be giving you some additional information on that. As far as the calendar, you already have that information. May I proceed?
Well,
Yes, please.
no, let me just make sure is that a point of reference here. So we already voted for number 7 in total, right?
Yeah, that was more informational.
Okay,
So we're
Yes.
going to number 8 now.
all right. all
Okay,
right. Here we go.
just, Mr. Garza, number 7 is a required element of the meeting.
Yes, no doubt.
Okay.
Mhm.
Number 8, discussion and possible action on the following budget amendments. 8A, budget amendment number 2223-34, discussion and possible action to approve the General Operating Fund 199 budget amendment in the amount of $3,185 as a result of transfers between functional expenditure categories from the Board of Trustees discretionary funds. And Ms. Garcia, you have a
Motion.
list.
Is there a motion to approve?
I
Madam
move,
President, I was gonna make a motion to amend item
Well,
number
man,
8.
ahorita in
okay, in the second one.
in the discussion area, right? Or
Yeah,
you want to amend before?
No, we
motion.
we do a first and a second, and then we have
Yeah.
discussion after that.
So is there's already a first and a second? The second for
Second.
discussion? Okay. There's a first and a second discussion? Go ahead,
Yes,
Mr.
Madam
Ramirez.
President, I would like to amend the request for discretionary funding to include $2,100 for the Special Olympics for Martin High School students. Also, $6,000 for Kristen Middle School band for transportation. In addition to Kristen Middle School for the parent liaison for $1,000 for materials for the life course for parents. And also for the fine art modification from $3,000 to $1,800.
Did
Can you
somebody
get our total for that, Jessica, please? I didn't get it.
She's doing it in
It was 2,100 for Special
lost you after the
Olympics,
first one.
6,000 for Kristen Transportation, $1,000 for.
It's 2,100. No, 8,100
The total
of the amendment.
to add, okay.
Yes.
She's just confirming.
Is there any other amendments?
No, Madam President.
The amendment amount?
It's 14,085. Am I correct, Jessica?
So it's moved and seconded with the amended amount of,
14,085 is the total amount that we're going to approve. total amended amount is $10,900, bringing a grand total for this, for the motion we just did, for $14,085. All right.
Okay, so it's been moved and seconded with
May I-
amendments?
Madam President,
Yes?
may I amend my discretionary funding, please?
Yes, please.
So for Nixon High School, for art supplies, it's $1,000. For Cigarroa High School, for baseball uniforms, $5,565. And then for Martin High School, for band materials, that's $2,000. Please.
Somebody do the math? Ms. Orduño?
$8,565.
So, Ms. Jessica has a point to make here?
Mr. Lopez, just to clarify, so those first two that you did mention, they have already been approved at prior board meetings. The amended amount, the only amendment that you would need to make to add,
Is the bad materials.
is, yes,
Okay.
$2,000 for Martin High School.
Then that's my amendment, then the band materials for Martin High School,
2,000,
please.
so,
$2,000.
$16,085.
okay, so anybody else? Before we get off our math?
So
No?
that is included
Okay.
in your
So
amount,
it's been
Jessica?
motioned and seconded with amendments of $16,085.
85. That's the total amount.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Anybody against?
Nay.
Okay. May I proceed?
Yes.
Okay, item number 9, discussion and possible action to approve the recommendation or selection.
Before we go on, motion does pass on 8A.
I'm sorry.
Number 9?
Item number 9, discussion and possible action to approve the recommendation or selection for the following bids, proposals, or qualifications. Purchases shall be made from the appropriations in the adopted amended budget. The first one is 9A RFCSP number 2022-004, HVAC Controls and Equipment Replacement Phase 1. The estimated expenditures are not what they're listed, they're actually less after negotiation. It's $4,215,000.
Motion to approve.
I move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone against? Motion passes. Dr. Rios?
Item number 9B, HGAC contract number VE 11-20, TIPS contract number 220304 for vehicles at an estimated expenditure of $300,000.
I move.
Is there a second?
So moved.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody against? Motion passes. We're now at
That's it, we
the
did
communication and updates, and this time I'm gonna pass it over to Dr. Gilberto Martinez, if he would like to say a few words
Or communicate.
and communicate anything, Mr. Like, we're always gonna go from your side to this side.
Thank you very much, everyone, for all
Nice.
Mr. Lopez.
Thank you to all the high school principals and the different departments that have been so kind and supportive to us. All the gestures that you provided yesterday were very much appreciated and very gracious and very generous. And I know that a lot of thought went into that, and so just want to say thank you.
Ms. Orduño?
Ditto, the same thing. I would like to thank everybody who sent all those goodies. Yesterday, I had a food coma, very welcomed by my husband. So thank you so much, and thank you for always being there for us and answering our questions, and the patience that you've had for us, because we over here are brand new, and we really, it's flying the plane, or what, building the plane while you're flying it? Oh,
Yes.
that's it. Okay, and I thought that was bad and when I was a teacher, but now it's like, wait a minute, wait. So thank you so much for your patience.
Thank you, Ms. Orduño. Mr. Ramirez?
Yes, Madam President, thank you. First of all, I concur with my colleagues. Thank you to every single administration, every single school, everybody that took it from their heart to give us a little token of appreciation. So I feel so humbled to be part of this awesome family and to receive such wonderful goodies yesterday. I also would like to congratulate the Martin High School boys soccer team for being victorious against United South from 1-0, and the varsity, I believe, was 4-0 against United South. So I'm so proud of the soccer team. I wish them good luck today during the Border Olympics. So I hope they bring us a championship. And to everybody in our LISD family, I am so proud of everything that you do day in and day out. One of the things that I have to remind everybody, we're here to serve the public, and that includes you. You are our constituents. The constituency is the ones that put us up here. So we're here to do what is best for our students, number one, and for the entire family of LISD. I'm a believer, don't feel intimidated. We're here to serve and to make our family even better than what we are as of right now. And I want to congratulate Martin High School on their scores they're receiving. I'm so proud of all the hard work of all the administration, teachers, attendance officers, getting those students into the classrooms, security guards and officers to keeping our children safe in our campus. And I concur with Mr. Orduño, adding to those words, I feel sorry. I'm asking you also a lot of questions, about safety and finance, but I agree with her. We're new. We're getting things to finding out things, because when you're on the other side, you have a different perspective. When you're on this side, it's a different world. So at the end, we have to combine more worlds together to make what is best for everybody. And I'm here to serve you. Whatever I can do for you, I'm here. My ears are open to every single one of you. And I hear over and over, don't talk to the board members. I hear that, and I don't appreciate that. That is coming from me individually, because we're here, like I mentioned, to serve the public, to serve the constituency of LISD. So I'm here, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you do every single day. I applaud you for everything, believe me, every single one of you. Thank you so much, and gracias por todo lo que hacen.
Thank you, Mr. Ramirez. Mr. Garza?
Well said, Mr. Ramirez, very well said. That's exactly what we do. I want to thank, I was moving around most of this month. I try to make it a point to attend as many athletic events as I can. Been doing this for 10 years. I think I got it down to a T now, where my life is torn apart when we have soccer, girls soccer and boys soccer, and basketball at Martin and basketball girls at Nixon. But I take great pride that I get to do it. Nobody else, it's not that nobody else does that. They don't do it yet. But I am so in tune, I am so aligned with what we do here that I take great pride in doing that, and it's just a total honor for me to do it. Takes a lot of time from the family. The family agrees that it's something that I should do, and they're 100% behind it because it's worth it. And the greatest thing about it is when the kids see you and they recognize you and they applaud you for being there, and then did you see this, did you see that? And I get to see them. So in a way, like my wife says, your maturity level went back to high school again, because I get to hang out with all the high school kids and elementary kids again, and she's absolutely right. I feel a lot better by doing that. I get to know them on a personal level, and each and every one of them, you start getting to know them by name. And it's a great honor, because not a lot of people get to do this, and I take great pride in doing that. Just a small comment on, a lot of times we have people coming up here and making comments, which is, all due respect, yes, whatever comments you have, come and leave them out at the podium and do that. But I just got to tell you from a personal level, the door that opens to hell is Facebook. Don't listen to Facebook. There's people out there that are throwing crap out there every day. We treat our teachers great here. It's proven by all of y'all on a daily basis. And there's rumors and there's all kinds of stupid remarks that are being done over there, and people buy into it. And I tell them, did you not learn from the 2016 presidential election that can happen? Did you not learn? So people are going to be out there and just throwing all kinds of innuendos and that are not facts. and talking bad about us and doing all kinds of things. I'm not on Facebook, but I get to hear it from everybody, and I said, leave me out of it. I don't want to listen to it. As far as I'm concerned, it's all gossip-filled. There might be some 5% of good things that are in there, but, you know, the thing is that kids are looking. The adults are saying it, but kids are reading it. And if people are so in tune to doing what's better for the kids out there, then go out there and spread, you know, the misinformation. Because they get to read it, and then we look bad, and everybody looks bad because they listen to some idiot that post something on Facebook without any factual information, without having the backbone to corroborate with us and tell them the truth about, always worried about what we don't have instead of applauding what we do have. And that's why we do the things that we do here. You know, it's a game of inches, people. We've been climbing this mountain since I've been here, at least me, and we're there. But if we did it 1 inch at a time, without all this other stuff that's been going on, and with all the gossip and all the stuff that was said about us, we still managed to get to the top of the mountain, and we're here, and we're gonna go farther with these people. We're gonna go farther, I know it. So I'm just very happy with our new board members. I'm very happy with the staff, the way we've been doing things. I'll continue to do what I do because I love it. It's not part of the plan. I'm not telling anybody to do what I do. This is just strictly for me. But what we do here is very important, and it shows, and people are watching us every day, and people want to join the bandwagon. But there's always going to be people that once you build something good, they want to tear it down. So just continue to do everything that you do, and just keep your eye focused on the grand prize. What we have, the game plan that we do, we've done that ever since we started here. We formed a game plan for everything, a game plan for every little thing, so that every time that we're headed in the right direction, we tweak it and we go back to what we're going to do. And that's just as simple as it can get. That's why we have winners here, because now we can go back, and the data that's provided for all of us, the information that's out there for all of us to understand, we know the difference between right and wrong. We're good people. So keep up the good work. Thank you all. God bless you all.
Thank you, Mr. Garza. So this is already my 4th board recognition month, and honestly and truthfully, I can't, be recognized without saying it right back at you and saying thank you. Because honestly, we can't do anything as a board without the data-driven individuals that you are, the leadership that you have. There's no way, we can sit up here, make decisions, without any of y'all. So I just wanted to make sure that y'all knew that thank you so much, for, everything y'all do for us this month. But also, I mean, it's a reflection of what you give us. And with that being said, I just want to thank everyone. We're at the middle of the year. We're like right there. And I'm pretty sure that y'all are already looking forward to spring break and the summer and the whole nines, because that's just what happens when January rolls around. But in an honest note, thank you all so much for what y'all do. I mean, it's obviously evident that, we might set expectations, but you are the ones that, cross that barrier and every day, here in LISD. So I just wanted to make sure that I thanked every one of you for all the great work that you do. You might want to recognize us, but it's on you all too. So thank you all so much, and God bless everyone.
I do have one note very quickly. Well, first of all, congratulations, board members, and our best wishes always go with you, as well as our blessings for everything that you do. We all recognize that everybody's new, even if we're not new, but we are new. But I do want to make a point right now to tell you that Ms. Ayala will be talking to you about the what do you call it, besides the redistricting, the pay plan for teachers, and you will note at that time, and so will Ms. Gabby Rogerio be there, and they will tell you that a 5-year teacher does not earn less than a first-year teacher. You will also notice, she will talk about raises and what are the qualifications for raises and how those occur. So you'll get that at the board workshop that she's talking about, that she's going to be, initiating. It's on Tuesday, correct, Ms. Ayala? Yes. And The TIA incentive, and I know that Dr. Cruz has talked quite a bit about TIA incentive and the requirements for that. I do also want to mention on the JROTC Raider competition, we do have Mr. Rogelio Garcia here, as well as our staff from Martin High School. No one is left out in our eyes for anything. We can all improve on a great many things. On that item that was number 3, that is part as what Mrs. Garcia talked about and Ms. Ayala about the bond. That was voted on by the constituents from the district, just like the way Cigarroa High School was voted on, just like Cigarroa Middle, Martin High School multipurpose building. All of those allocations go from there. And she'll talk a little bit about the bond and how that works in her presentation, because again, we're all learning, we'll get better at it. It won't take one time.
Just so y'all know, Martin's multipurpose room was created before anything was done in Cigarroa and anywhere else.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it out.
As far as the special education, Special Olympics, in fact, I know that I attended that at at the SAC. There was a delay in a couple of things, but I believe that funding is allocated for, through the schools as well as through through the special education department. But again, we'll look into it. So when we get to the committee meeting, you'll hear a little bit more about that funding. None of our kids are left out, and if there is something that's being left out, then we will surely address it, because every child is important to us. And as far as the comment that you made, Mr. Ramirez, I guess we can have a little bit more talks about that. We do have the confidence that this is a great team because you've proven yourselves. You're here because there's a leadership incentive here as where we want to go from this district. I do also want to commend everyone and thank all of these individuals for commending you, because we know that you are the backbone, you are the heart of where we want to go as far as the vision of our school district. So thank you so much. We hope you enjoy your evening and the rest of the year.
Thank you, Dr. Diaz. Is there a motion to adjourn? Oh. Come on, Veronica.
Veronica, she has to do her thing now.
Thank you. One more reminder of the LISD Honorable ROTC Cadet Ceremony that Mr. Mireles mentioned earlier. It's tomorrow. It's in the Martin High Library at 11 a.m. And also tomorrow is the Secondary Schools Science Fair Award Ceremony. Will be here in the Nelson's Conference Center at 5:30 p.m. And then we have the LISD Spelling Bee scheduled for next Tuesday, January 24th. It'll be at the Trevino Magnet School Recital Hall at 4 o'clock. And then we have a board workshop on Tuesday, January 24th at 5:30 p.m. here in the Yeary Boardroom. A special called board meeting on Thursday, January the 26th at 5:30 p.m. And then Saturday, January 28th is a big day. We have the 16th Annual Tech Expo. That's on Saturday, January 28th, and that'll be held at the Don Jose Gallego Elementary School campus. And going on here on that day will be the LISD chess tournament, pretty much all day in the Nelson Conference Center. This coming Saturday? Okay, correction. The chess tournament is this coming Saturday. Thank you, Ms. Maggie. We have Student Services Committee meeting on Monday, February 6th at 11 a.m., followed by the Operations and Safety Committee meeting at 5:15 p.m. We have the Curriculum and Instruction Committee meeting for Tuesday, February the 7th at 9 a.m., and the Business and Support Services Committee meeting on Thursday, February the 9th at 5:30 p.m. And that's all I have. Happy School Board Recognition Month.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I move.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.